You've heard of leaky gut, but you know what the 7 warning signs are? Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Stengler, and I've been practicing integrative and functional medicine for over 30 years, and I've treated thousands of patients with leaky gut syndrome. As a matter of fact, I have a best-selling book called The Holistic Guide to Gut Health, where I go into the science and the studies on leaky gut and what you can do to heal it naturally. But in this video, I'm going to review the 7 warning signs of leaky gut. We'll go through each one, and let's see if you have any of these warning signs, and that can tell you whether you likely need treatment or not for leaky gut. Now, a bit of background on leaky gut syndrome. This is a real syndrome. It's in the medical literature, and essentially what's happening with leaky gut, as the name implies, in the small intestine, which is the gatekeeper to the body. It's a gatekeeper in the fact that it helps to regulate what gets into the body, the nutrients that you need, and keeps toxins out from absorbing through the gut into the bloodstream. So with leaky gut, the lining of the small intestine becomes unhealthy. It becomes unhealthy through the foods you eat, too many processed foods, rancid seeds and oils, high sugar diets, a low fiber diet, and many other components of the American diet lead to leaky gut syndrome, as well medications such as pain medication, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, other pain medications, acid-blocking medications used for acid reflux, steroids, things like this, they lead to a degradation or breakdown of the gut. Moreover, stress. The effects of stress reduce digestive abilities, reduce blood flow to the gut, and so things like this predispose people to leaky gut. So now let's go over these 7 warning signs of leaky gut. Number 1, fatigue after eating or unexplained fatigue. If you have leaky gut, you're going to have inefficient digestion. And so you're going to waste a lot of energy trying to break food down, and you're not going to absorb the nutrients. And as well, your blood sugar levels are not going to be stable. So fatigue after eating is definitely a sign of leaky gut. Or let's just say you have some degree of chronic fatigue. People with chronic fatigue syndrome, where you've had many weeks or months of fatigue, that could be related to leaky gut syndrome. Number 2, gas and bloating, even though you're eating a strict diet. So if you're prone to gas and bloating, those are warning signs that things are not right in your gut. Now, there's many parts of the digestive system that could be involved in gas and bloating, but certainly leaky gut is one of the main culprits. Again, when you don't have proper absorption, you have an imbalance in the microbiome, the flora in the gut of the small intestine, you're going to create a lot of gases, and that can predispose you to leaky gut. A lot of people with leaky gut also have small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So this is overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestine that shouldn't be there, and it ferments carbohydrates, certain types of foods, and creates gas and bloating. So this is a warning sign. Warning sign number 3 for leaky gut, and that is multiple food sensitivities. If you've been developing more and more food sensitivities over time, that really is a true tell sign that you have leaky gut. Most of your immune system actually is in the small intestine, like the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. So you had all this immune tissue in the small intestine. And so when you have inflammation in the small intestine, you're not breaking foods down properly, you have larger particles that the immune system sees as foreign, that's going to cause more reactions to foods. So if you have many food sensitivities and they're increasing, you have to be very suspicious that you have leaky gut. I've had many patients over the years who have many food sensitivities, a very restricted diet. And as we treat their leaky gut, they're able to expand their diet over time, which is a good thing because then you get more nutrients, a more variety of foods and nutrients in your diet. So that's much healthier. If you want to see the products I use with patients every day in my practice, then go to drstengler.com. There you'll see that my doctor formulated products I've been using for over 30 years with patients. Warning sign number 4, you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. There are tons of studies now showing a linkage between leaky gut syndrome and autoimmunity. And again, that goes back to the fact that most of your immune system, the activity originates from the gut, right in the small intestine. So if you're having disturbances in that small intestine, not only are you not absorbing the nutrients properly, but you're getting the immune system imbalanced, dysregulated, because your immune system's reacting to particles and undigested food particles in the small intestine that it shouldn't be. As well, the science is very clear. You have another thing that occurs, and it's called translocation. And that basically means you're absorbing bacterial byproducts into the bloodstream, which travel to different components of the body, let's say the joints or the muscles or the brain or wherever, and then your immune system's reacting, causing an inflammatory reaction with pain and inflammation. And that's what's going on with autoimmunity. Warning sign number 5, unexplained skin rashes or breakouts or rapid skin aging. You know, it's been well documented, and I talk about in the book that there's this gut-skin axis. And so an unhealthy gut will result in an unhealthy skin. And there's many different ways why that could be explained. But basically, if you're not absorbing the nutrients, you're not going to be able to quench those free radicals, which leads to skin aging. If you have leaky gut, you're going to create a lot of metabolic toxins that get into the bloodstream, which your immune system is going to react to, creating an inflammatory response for the skin. As well, you can be low in certain nutrients, say like vitamins A, D, E, vitamin C, omega fatty acids from malabsorption, and you need all these nutrients for healthy skin. Warning sign number 6, brain fog and worsening cognitive function. The literature has been very clear in that there is also a gut-brain axis, and it's actually bidirectional. So there's messaging comes from the gut right to the brain and from the brain to the gut. You have a major nerve called the vagus nerve that runs from the brain to the gut, but as well, you have other hormonal signals that go from the gut to the brain and vice versa. And so if you have imbalances in the gut, such as leaky gut, it's going to lead to things like brain fog, poor memory, poor focus. So if you're having cognitive difficulties, you need to be suspicious that there are things going on in your gut. Warning sign number 7, inflammation of the muscles, joints, and bones. Now remember earlier I talked about this concept, which has been proven in science, called translocation. When you have leaky gut, you absorb bacterial byproducts into the bloodstream, travel to the bloodstream, to your muscles, your joints, your bones, and then that results in the immune system creating an inflammatory reaction, which is going to result in not just inflammation, but pain and soreness and a lack of being able to recover when you're using your muscles and joints because of leaky gut. But the good news about all these warning signs is that there's something you can do about it. You know, when you change your diet, you can get very dramatic improvements in leaky gut and whole body health very quickly, in a matter of days, actually. And most people, even within 7 days to 14 days, can notice dramatic differences in their health. If you can get the right prebiotic foods, probiotic foods, if you can get enough fiber in your diet, if you can get nutrients like L-glutamine, quercetin, aloe vera extract, DGL licorice extract, which I talk about in other videos, then you can accelerate healing of the gut. So I hope you found this video helpful. Leaky gut is a very common problem, too common of a problem in our society, and you can't have good health if you have leaky gut syndrome. Check out my other videos on this topic on my YouTube channel.